row.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Aaron, I just asked Michael a little bit about how the process of playing when Nikola is on the side, when he's sitting out, how's that gone? And he talked about sort of the progress this season and how it's gone in the playoffs. What are the keys to that when you're on the floor, the other guys are on the floor, but he's sitting?
Defense. So when he's sitting on the floor, we need to lock in on defense. That's probably the most important, crucial aspect of the non-Nikola Jokic minutes, because that's how our defense, that's how we get our offense as well. So when we get stops on defense, we can get out and run, and we're really fast and versatile, but it comes down to defending.
That of surviving those stretches, or
No.
are you actually trying to thrive?
No, definitely thrival, not surviving. So I feel like surviving is almost like fear-based, and we ain't got no fear.
We're going to go to the right side, first row.
Aaron, Shane Young with Forbes Sports. Coach was also saying he didn't think you all played well in Game 1 and still came out with a win. When you look back on the film, is there anything in particular that you think you can shore up as a team or maybe individually?
Well, I think they got a few too many open looks. It's going to happen. But we need to cut down on the number of open looks that they get, getting back in transition, keeping them off the offensive glass, and then just kind of tightening up on the defensive end as well.
We're going to stay on the right side, first row.
Wes Goldberg, Locked On Podcast Network. Just curious what you saw at the beginning of the game in terms of how they were defending you and some of that. Did you think that those opportunities would be there? And then how did their defense against you shift as the game went on, if at all?
I think they stopped switching. They started to, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to play the pick and roll this time between me and Jamal. They went under one time and got back to Jamal, but they were switching 1 through 4. So I don't expect them to do that again. But, I'm going to just run out and transition, try and get deep steals, continue to be aggressive with whoever's in front of me.
We're going to go to the middle, fourth row.
Christina from Mexico. You haven't lost a game since April. What do you think about that, and what do you think it's a success or the key for that success?
No, we've lost a game. We've lost since April. On our home.
The key for that.
Oh, okay. At home, we just take a lot of pride at home. We take a lot of pride in protecting our home floor. We have a great fan base that's behind us. I think that's what it really comes down to, is just understanding what it means to keep home court advantage.
We're going to go to the right side, fifth row.
Aaron, Marcus Thompson from The Athletic. A couple questions for you. What is the value of Jeff Green, in the locker room and the presence he brings? How would you, explain his impact?
It's huge, man. It's priceless. JG is so basketball savvy. It's like he's playing chess out there. He keeps everybody poised, solid, professional, and he's still a hell of a talent. So to have a guy that's that can produce and create on the floor is extremely important, and then a guy that can talk to you and give you advice and lead from off the floor is just as crucial.
Okay.
He learned from KG, he's got to talk more, and now that he's older, he talks a lot. I was wondering, when he's giving you guys advice, is it funny? Is he coming with these lines of wisdom? How does he approach his vocal part of it?
It's just solid. It's all sound advice. It makes sense. It's to the point. It's not confusing or left to interpretation. It is exactly what we need to hear every time.
Left side, first row.
Vinny Benedetto with the Denver Gazette. Aaron, when you look back to the transition from Orlando to Denver, in Orlando you probably were asked to do a bit more, had the opportunity to do a bit more. coming to Denver? Was it like an instantaneous flip of the switch? Like, these are the things I need to do. I need to do some of the gritty work, or did that take a little bit of...
No, it wasn't too much of a switch. I think what was interesting in my first 6 years in Orlando, I had 6 different coaches. And before that, it was Sean Miller at Arizona, and then my high school coach. So within 8 years, it was 8 different coaches, and a multitude of coaching staffs and training staffs. You know, there was a lot of movement in there. In that, I got to pick the brain of brilliant coaches for maybe just a year at a time, but still I got to pick up little pieces from Jacques Vaughn, Borrego, Frank Vogel, Steve Clifford, Scott Skiles, and I hope I'm not missing anybody. Sorry if I am. It'll come back around to me. But just to be able to bring some of the wisdom that they instilled on me, even for the short time that we had together, the year that we had together, and then kind of bring it together to an organization like Denver, where Coach Malone had already been here for a certain number of years. Bye. Be safe. Buckle up. Coach Malone being here for a number of years and already having a kind of like something already going, established here, you know, a foundation. He already had a foundation and had been playing on it for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I'm not even entirely sure how long, 5 years, 6 years, maybe. Just being able to come in and be myself, that was the biggest thing. You know, they told me from the jump, they said, just, we got you for a reason. Just be yourself and everything will work out. And that's what it came down to, you know, and even in the first game, you know, it was just like, it was like a breath of fresh air, you know, just because it was like the first time like I was able to just like get a back cut and then just like an easy dunk, you know, and there was just so much going on the floor, so much spacing, and it seemed like everybody complemented each other so well.
Left side, 6th row.
Hi, Jessica Schobar, ESPN. As Coach Malone mentioned before, he didn't think you guys played that great in Game 1. Is there anything in particular at the beginning of the fourth quarter that you guys can look to improve on when they made that run?
Yeah, I mean, you just can't be complacent with this team. You can't be lackadaisical. You can't sleep on this team. This team has no quit. They will continue to fight through the entirety of the game, and you got to understand that about this team. So you can't take your foot off the gas with these guys.
We're going to take 2 more questions. 3rd row, left side.
Hi, Aaron. Aurelia from Germany, writing for a German basketball magazine. So, being for such a long time with the Orlando Magic, and I mean, you guys were also very close. Do you still have contact to them? Like, are they reaching out to you now and like wanted to know how you are and how all that is now for you?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the years, I got to develop a lot of great relationships in Orlando. Whether it be the coaching staff or player development or some of my teammates. And yeah, they still reach out to me, excuse me. They still reach out to me and give me some advice from here and there and just let me know that they're still rooting for me.
We're going to wrap things up in the 1st row with Michael Singer.
Mike Singer, Denver Post. AG Malone just talking about how he implored you guys to ignore the outside noise. Don't read the paper. Don't listen to anything. Don't watch TV. How difficult is that to do at this stage, and even to block out the people around you, being like, I don't want to hear that stuff?
It's difficult, you know, because the people around you get excited as well, you know, so you have to keep like a calmness. You have to keep a poise to you, like an intense energy, but calm, while the rest of everybody else is really frenetic, you know. It's important to just make the main thing, and just be focused on what the task is at hand.
Thank you, Aaron.
Cut me off. Let me. Yeah, one more thing about that. My bad. Yeah, about the media. You know, still reading the newspaper and the news around the world is important. You know, and not being consumed with kind of the bubble that is the NBA, even though it expands during the finals, but still being aware of the other things that are going on outside of the media of the NBA and the things that are going on outside of the world, and reading world news is still really important. Thanks for reminding me about that. All right. Thanks, guys.